Hi everyone, I'm joined by Durk. He's a VR artist and creator of Maranga, and we're here to talk about his processes creating inside VR. Thank you very much for joining me, Durk.
You're welcome. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, for people who don't know what Maranga is or are learning about it for the first time, do you mind giving an introduction to what the experience is all about?
Well, Maranga is really, I wouldn't really describe it as a game. It's more like an experience, and it's kind of a place. So you can just go there and kind of escape. You can just walk around. There's some structures you can climb, so you can do some climbing. There's an ocean, fairly sized ocean, where you can swim underwater, which is a nice experience. And the only game element is kind of there's this world size or like these huge chess pieces, and you can play some chess. But it's really kind of just to hang out with people, and it really became more of a social VR space.
Yeah, nice. And then not only do you have Maranga, but you've also built a VR chat world called Shelter in Place.
Yeah.
Could you walk through the process of making a VR chat world?
I wanted to create something that kind of looked good, but wasn't too big, so it was kind of a doable project. And so this just started like a pencil sketch, a simple sketch on paper. And what I wanted to do was a little bit in the style of Maranga, which is kind of a fantastical flora kind of world, a little bit alien, but very, very colorful. And I started creating this in Gravity Sketch, which is a VR modeling tool, which I really love. And it's very good for kind of low poly, mid poly modeling, which is great for VR. And this is also one of the things I really believe in like creating inside of VR for VR. There's this interesting thing that happens, especially in VR, as you start modeling with your hands, that kind of influences what you see and what you want to see. So sometimes it's good to not have a very specific plan, because then the creation itself is a form of exploration. And then you just want to continue working because you want to see where it ends, So this house is kind of the centerpiece for Maranga. And again, it has another one of those round gates that I love so much that kind of draws you in. This house is really something that I started making when I got inspired by watching the movie Coraline. They have this big kind of Victorian style house. And I really love that style. And I was like, I want to put something like that in Maranga. So I made my own version of that. When we enter the house, and we'll see in a bit, it's actually empty. It's mostly empty. There's a little bit in there. One of the things that I kind of like about it now, this is really a world where, you should want to be outside. This is not, it's kind of paradoxical because you're wearing a VR headset, but I kind of want you to be, inside is not the place really to be. So if you swim, probably just doggy paddle like this, and kind of push water towards your face. It's but you'll figure it out. It's a kind of
Did you know that Maranga was going to be a social experience when you started making it, or did you just build a world and then think, let's put people in this?
I had one idea I had was like, I didn't really want to make this into a game. I want this to have the kind of quality that like nature has, where in real world there's nature and you just go to it because you want to be in it. There's no necessarily an activity to do there. You just want to be in that space. So that was kind of my idea. And then very quickly the idea comes, of course, you want to do that. That is already kind of a social experience, like take a stroll with people, like have a conversation in a specific space, or having a conversation while you're moving through a space.
Whoa, we're here.
It adds a lot. We do it in real life because it really adds a lot to the social interaction. Climbing is such a part of, I think, like everybody's childhood, that there's something very deeply ingrained in our DNA that climbing is, just comforting in a way. And I feel the same thing for like drawing and creating. So one of the things that I would love to be able to also put in here is creation or drawing. And one of the things that I'm also been kind of brainstorming with other people about is if you could use VR also in a more like healthcare way, so like do art therapy.
I'm aware that you make singular art pieces as well. Like you make characters and objects, I think, just in your spare time outside of Maranga and Shelter in Place. I'm curious if your social VR worlds like Maranga can be exhibition spaces for those smaller pieces, perhaps in the future, and you can be able to purchase or visit and experience your art from inside your worlds. Is that something you've considered?
Definitely, I'm actually thinking a lot about that because that original idea what Maranga was a place to put my art. I still like that because I always keep kind of improvising or taking different directions, and maybe these art styles will be very different. But one way to combine them is more like in a museum. And I don't know if you're aware, but the crypto art world is really taking off. Whether it's a bubble or not, only time will tell. But besides that fact, I think the underlying technology, so blockchain and virtual reality, is a match made in heaven. And I think we're going to see a lot more things come out of that because now, of course, there's already interesting markets like people creating custom avatars or creating custom worlds and all that stuff. But it could be expanded so much more if you would bring in that technology.
Well, I think we'll finish it there. But thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for watching. This was Durk. You can find him at Durk at Work on Twitter, and you can also experience Maranga on Viveport.
Thanks.
See you in the next one.